Okay, so welcome. Today we're going to do a fancy peach pie. It looks fancy, but it's rather easy to do. It takes a bit of time and effort, but it's well worth it when you see the end result. We are going to use a dough consisting of wheat with whole grain, some sugar because it's a sweet pie, and some vanilla sugar as well. Some butter or margarine, some gelatin, and of course, and because I have a large family, we use a large can of peaches. So canned peaches for this. And if you're lazy, like I am, you don't want to stand with a fork or mix it by hand, so then you use a mixer. So let's get cracking. Oh yes, also the pie form is one with a detachable bottom, and also it's Teflon. So we're going to butter it up anyways, but because it's removable, it's much easier to take out. I hate these ones. When you use this one, you have to sit there and scrape and do stuff, whatever, to get it out. But with the removable bottom, it's much easier to look at. So we need 150 grams of margarine or butter. That's up to you. I can't really taste the difference, so I go with margarine because it costs half as much. And once again, with a large family, you do the math. Okay, so butter. I'm going to write the recipe in the manuscript, but I'm going to do with deciliters, milliliters and kilograms. So 150 grams margarine, 3 deciliters of wheat meal, because I want it to be a little bit sweeter. I take some sugar as well, and also because I like sugar. It's almost empty, so we do it this way. Let's see how much is left. Oh, come on, come on. If you want to take a full deciliter, do it. If you want to take less, then do that. It doesn't really matter for the outcome for the pie dough. Strange word, pie dough, but whatever. With vanilla sugar or vanilla essence, just take as much as you want to get the flavor. It doesn't really matter that much as either. Just powder over some. And then comes the fun part, and that is to find the lid. And I think it's here somewhere. Yep. Here we go. And here comes the noisy part, so you might want to cover your ears, or maybe we should cover the mic. But run it for just a short time, until you see that it's mixed properly. So let's go for it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So if you mix it too long, the dough will sort of melt and get sticky and stuff. You can do that too if you want to. It doesn't, once again, really matter for the outcome, because you have to knead it with your fingers anyway. And before you do that, just take it off. Take out the knife. And here is the dough, and as you can see, it's rather easy to work with your fingers. And what you have to do now is to let the dough rest. So I just use some either a plastic bag or plastic film, whatever suits your needs or whatever you get in store in your home. And this is just for me to make it easier for me when I put it into the form later on. Just flatten it out. It doesn't matter if you do it in a square or a round piece or whatever. Just cover it up. If you want to use it today, let it rest for about 1, 2 or 3 hours, something like that. If you want to use it tomorrow, then also do that. You can let it rest for about 1 up to 3 days, I should think. So if you don't feel like making the pie later today, just keep it in the fridge and it will be fine, and just take it out when you need it. So that's the first part. And because we're doing a bit of a thing about this, I have already prepared. So I have an ice cold one that I did yesterday. So we're going to get pie today and tomorrow, or another day, because now we have 2 pie doughs. Strange word again, pie dough. Sounds strange, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's my pronunciation, I don't know. So, if you don't like to get messy, you can use plastic film over this and just do like this over with this one, or if you're a grown up, use this one. But since I like to get nitty gritty with my fingers, I will do it with them. So, put it out from the plastic. Make sure that the bottom is somewhere around the middle. If you want to butter it up, do it now. Sometimes you need to, sometimes you don't want to, I don't know. So then you do it like this until you get something like that in thickness, somewhere around that. But you are going to use the whole dough for this form, so make it travel up a bit up to the edges and smooth it out, especially around here, because it gets too thick here and then it doesn't get as tasty, I think, because then sometimes you get uncooked dough in your mouth and that's not so fun. So massage it out, and we're going to cut here for a few seconds, and for you it's nothing. Okay, so now I have taken a dough and put it out here like this with my fingers, and they get sticky and messy, and it's rather good fun. And if you have kids, let them join in, because they will get sticky, and when they get tired of it, you can take over and finish it off. So also one thing that you want to make sure that you don't have too much of is on the edges here. You want to flatten them out, because if you get too much sticking up like this, they get black, as you know, and when they get black, they don't taste as good. And that's the whole objective with doing a dessert, is that it's going to taste good. So make sure that it doesn't get black. One thing to make sure that it doesn't get black is to use, for example, some foil and just put it in. Or if you don't want to press it down now when the dough is very soft, just put it over, and after about 5 or 10 minutes, when the dough starts to rise from the bottom, then just take it out and put it down on the dough. And if you're even more serious about having a flat bottom, because the bottom will rise if you don't press it down, I sometimes actually use my frying pan and just put it in here because it fits rather good, but don't do it immediately, do it after a while instead, like I said, after about 5 minutes or so, and then you will get a very flat bottom on the pie. I put the oven on 200 degrees Celsius. I will translate that for you in Fahrenheit if that's what you use. And now we're just going to send it in. I put it almost in the middle, but not quite. So 2 steps up I put it. It usually takes about 10 to 20 minutes depending how much water and flour and whatever you get in the dough. So we will cut here again and come back when it's done. Okay, so now we have done the pie shell in the oven, and as you can see the edges has shrunken quite a bit. Sometimes they do that, sometimes they don't. It doesn't really matter. In the meantime, we're taking out the canned peaches. We sliced them up. Now, just put them out in any shape or form you like. If you want it to be real fancy, just put them in a fancy form. Also, you sort of get this, I suppose. And the gelatine, we took 4 or 5 leaves, put them in cold water, and that should be plenty enough for half or 5 deciliters of syrup from the peach can. So we just reuse that, and that is going to be our gel that we are going to put over the peaches. So the trick with this is let it heat up. It doesn't need to boil or anything, just get a bit warmer, and that happens while you wait for the gelatin leaves to be gelatin. This is pretty hard for the camera to pick up because they are see-through, but something like this, and this is what you put down in the peach syrup, and it melts and creates a gel, just as you make jello or anything else like that. And that is what we are going to put over this to get nice clear coating that also tastes of peaches. So over and out now, we're coming back. So now we have done the decorations of the peach pie, and down here we put down the gelatin leaves down here, and they feel almost like a jellyfish or something. You can't really see it, but now it's dissolved, and I put them down in about finger heat on the peach syrup, and now it's completely dissolved. And now we're just going to take this off here and let it cool down. If you want it to cool down faster, because the ideal that I have found is that when this is starting to gel, that's when exactly the right moment for you to put it on, because if you put it on before, then it just sinks down to the bottom of the pie or the cake, and then you don't get the gel effect that you're after. So you want to keep careful watch over the cooling of this, because it's a gelatin, it will of course gel. It's the whole purpose of the thing. But if you have like a spoon down here like this, if we start to transfer, the cooling will be helped by the spoon, and you can see that it gels quicker on the spoon, and then you just stir it around so the whole syrup gets an even gelling factor or whatever. You can see already that it thickens, but it would take about 20 to 30 minutes. If you want to hurry up the process, I suggest you put it in the fridge or the freezer. If you're going with the ice cold option, then you have to keep very careful watch. So I'm just going to do it with in here, like that. Because I'm letting it stand for about 3, 4, 5 minutes, something like that, before I take it out. And also, to help this process along, we did this. Come and check it out. So here we put up the peaches and everything and into the freezer, because then all of this will be much colder, and that will help the gelatine to stick to the peaches and give them that surface that we are after. So we will back again. See you later. The gelatine is now gelled, not completely solid, but enough to make it ready for application on the peaches. And how you can see that? If you see around here, you can see that it's, when I do like this, it sticks. And also if you do it like this, and you see the little bubbles down there, if it was not so solid, they would just pop right up, but now they stay in the liquid. You can see that. So now it's time to pour it on. And as you remember, the peaches has been in the fridge. So now we are going to get the cold gelatine on the very cold peaches. It's taken a bit longer than I initially thought. I said half an hour, but you can expect around an hour instead of half an hour. And as you can see, the gel sticks pretty good on the peaches. And try to cover as much as you can, because you want a glossy surface on it. And if you zoom in here, please, down here, you can see that it's starting to get to be the effect that we were after. The very nice looking dessert. And we used about it was a 2.5 kilo canned peaches can, and that equates to around 1.5 kilo of peaches. I'm just going ahead and pouring it. So that makes a lot of peaches, of course, and some of the peaches, of course, is also eaten when you slice them, because you let, of course, just like me, let the kids help, and then they want to taste. So 1.5 kilo of canned peaches when they are dry, so to speak, and we used only half of the peach syrup, so that's a half a liter. It gives around 1 liter of peach syrup. Now you can see where I'm going with this. It looks very nice, I think. And the rest I'm just going to pour on top, and it's going to just float out. And as you can see, nice. Now it's looking really nice. And that's pretty much it. I'm just going to cover this place here. And there you go. A nice peach dessert. Excellent to eat as is. You will of course have to wait until the gelatine sticks and becomes solid. And then it holds very well, a couple of days at least. But in my family it goes away in about 1 or 2 occasions. If you want to have something to it, try custard. It's always nice to a dish like this. And because we have a double double bottom, when it's solid, I'm just going to pop it out, and then you can see on the edges here with the gelatine. Then it's going to just pop out. It's going to look spectacularly good. And that's about it for me. And see you next time. Have a good one.